Hey guys, today I'll be discussing the state of Florida in the 2020 presidential election. Now I did do this a couple of days ago when I discussed the state of Texas, and in the future I do plan on doing more of these types of videos, just discussing who I think will win in each of the key states, and looking at the electoral history as well as each candidate's chances in general. So this is the second video out of this series looking at the state of Florida. In the future, I plan on doing videos on, Arizona, South Carolina, Georgia, and most of the Rust Belt, just the key 2020 states and looking at each candidate's chances there. So currently, Biden leads by 5.1% in the state of Florida over President Trump. Biden has 49.2% in the polls, while Trump has an average of 44.1%. Now, Biden was actually leading by 7.6% there on July 25th. That was Biden's peak in the state of Florida. Florida was pretty close in the beginning of this election cycle. However, since the beginning of June, mid-June, Biden has taken a much larger lead in the state. His lead has dropped in the last couple of weeks. However, 5.1% in a state that's typically as close as Florida is very good for Joe Biden. So next, I'm just going to take a look at the electoral history of the state of Georgia. So 29 electoral votes, 270 to win, does give the state of Florida as a toss-up. So they do not project that Joe Biden or Donald Trump will definitely be able to win it. They think that both candidates have a pretty good chance at winning the state. And we're going to look at some other forecasts and what they think in the future, because 270 to win is very conservative with their classifications of states. So looking down at the recent elections here, Florida is always very close, as you can see here. Rarely does a candidate get over 52%. So in 2000, it was basically a tie, but George W. Bush did beat Al Gore by 537 votes. That is still contested to this day because of how small that margin is. And whoever won the state of Florida would have won the election, so they did give the state of Florida to George W. Bush, which is why he was elected the 43rd president of the United States. And looking at Bush's lead in 2004, he had a 52% to 47 for John Kerry. And then looking at 2008, Barack Obama won a 51%, John McCain won 48%, and in 2012 it was a very close. Barack Obama with 50% of the vote, and Mitt Romney with just 0.9% less than that. And then in 2016, neither of the candidates even broke 50%. This was just how close it was in 2016. Donald Trump won the state by 1.2%. And looking down here at the electoral history of the state of Florida, basically in all recent elections, which I would classify as after 1988, both Democrats and Republicans have won the state of Florida a pretty even amount of times. Florida is a very good indication of who will actually win the election. As you can see up here, the state of Florida has gone to the eventual winner in at least the last 5 elections. If we look back, the only time in which the winner did not win was in 1992. George H.W. Bush did carry the state of Florida. However, he did lose pretty badly to Bill Clinton in the 1992 election. Before that, it was held by Republicans for 4 straight elections. Clinton won it in 1996, Bush won it twice, Obama won it twice, and Trump won it once. So basically, the state of Florida is just very close in all elections, and it does tend to sway towards the electoral winner at the end, which is why I think Florida is just a very interesting state, just because of how close it is and how important it is, because 29 electoral votes can, basically give Joe Biden the election. And looking at the Real Clear Politics no toss-up map, I just wanted to take a look at some forecasts and how they project the state of Florida. So basically right here, Florida, the Real Clear Politics no toss-up map does give the state of Florida to Joe Biden 29 electoral votes. They do project will go to Joe Biden over Donald Trump. And then looking at, The Economist, we can use The Economist here. The Economist gives Joe Biden a 78% chance of winning the state of Florida. 4 and 5 chance for Biden in Florida. I think that is very good for Joe Biden. The Economist is a little bit more left-leaning than some other forecasters. However, it doesn't even give the state of Florida as a toss-up state. It just gives it to Joe Biden, 78%. That is very good for Joe Biden. And looking at the Cook Political Report here, they give the state of Florida as a lean Democratic state, not a toss-up, which I think is pretty interesting. I would expect the state to still be in the toss-up column just because of how close Florida is, no matter what the polling data is. But after this, I'm actually going to take a look at the polling data out of the state of Florida, looking at the RCP averages from the past 3 elections. So looking at the election in 2016 between, of course, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, looking at this graph here, Hillary Clinton was actually leading in the state of Florida for most of the election cycle. As you can see, this is when Trump started to lead his convention bump, and then Hillary Clinton, she had a 4% lead at her peak. So looking at this, I think it's just very interesting to see that Biden's average at the moment is higher than Hillary Clinton's peak the entire election cycle. So another very good sign for Joe Biden. And it just shows that, the 2016 election is not, the 2020 election is not just a repeat of 2016, because Joe Biden is a much more popular candidate than Hillary Clinton. And I know I do say this a lot, but it is true. So I don't see why people are always comparing the two states, because Joe Biden is basically outperforming Hillary Clinton in every single way possible. And, he's also outperforming Barack Obama in 2012, but he is lacking a little bit behind Barack Obama's 2008 margins, but still very close to that. And looking at this chart here, Hillary Clinton had a pretty good lead up until the beginning of November. She led by 1%. She had that big spike in there. However, she did fall down. So on election day, she was trailing Donald Trump by 0.4% in the polling average out of the state of Florida. However, Trump did go and win it by even more. He won the state by 1.2%. And I think that this is honestly because of the October surprise, which was basically when the FBI director reopened the case looking into Hillary Clinton's emails. I think that was really what lost her the election. She was not a good candidate. She neglected many states. However, I think that at the end, that was really it. As you can see, Hillary Clinton's numbers went up, but then after polling conducted after the surprise with the investigation reopening, Hillary Clinton, her poll numbers dropped in basically every single way, looking at basically polls in every single state. And looking at the election in Florida in 2012 between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, now this is, it's very surprising to see that Mitt Romney was leading over Barack Obama on election night. He was leading in the state by 1.5%, and he still lost the state by 0.9%. Barack Obama really did outperform the margins, just because I think a lot of voters really switched from being a Romney voter to an Obama voter in the last, the final days leading up to the election, just because Mitt Romney was actually leading in the national popular vote over Barack Obama for, the last couple of weeks. However, in basically the last 1-2 weeks, Barack Obama only started to lead in the popular vote by a very small margin, but Mitt Romney was leading in Florida. He still lost the state. Florida, I think winning Florida probably would have been, a very good sign for Mitt Romney, but he still did lose the state he was expected to win, but he lost it. And then looking at the race in Florida in 2008 between John McCain and Barack Obama, this one it's less close than in 2012. Obama led by 1.8% on election night, and he won the state by 2.8%. So basically, Barack Obama has been able to outperform his polling averages as well as Donald Trump. So, I think that state of Florida, no matter what, it will still be very close. As you've seen in the last 3 elections, and looking here, it's always been close. Florida, I do not see Joe Biden winning a 5% margin basically ever. I think Biden's largest margin victory, would be 2-3%, just because Biden is not the revolutionary candidate that Donald Trump or Barack Obama were. They were, once in a lifetime candidates, but I don't think Joe Biden is that. However, he is a very popular political figure at the moment, and I think he's somebody that a lot of people think we need at the moment, just because of what's going on in the country. We need someone that is experienced, and Joe Biden really is experienced. And then lastly, I just want to take a look at the betting markets for the state of Florida. Looking at the predicted markets, basically, if you don't know how betting works, if you want to pretend, let's say you buy a Democratic share, 56 cents. Basically, if you pay 56 cents and Biden wins the state of Florida, you would get back 44 cents. So basically, you would get $1 for every 56 cents you put in. But if you put in 56 cents and Biden loses the state of Florida, you basically just lose your 56 cents. So all of this is not, the polling averages, because Biden leads by 12 points here. But this is how confident people are in both Biden and Trump's ability to win the state. And just because you're betting money, it makes it a little more accurate, because you would bet against your personal interests just because, you're betting money, but you would really bet on who you think would win, not who you're supporting. So definitely is a lot of Trump supporters who are betting on Biden winning the state of Florida. Looking at the graph here, Donald Trump was actually expected to carry the state for quite a while, up until the beginning of June. This was when the Black Lives Matter protests, and as you can, in looking at basically a lot of polling data, you can see that after this protest started, that was really when Biden took the very large lead he has right now. Currently, he leads by 59 cents to 44. 59 cents to 44 for Donald Trump, and his lead has fallen a little bit in the past few days, as that is basically the national trend. Biden's lead is currently falling a little bit. However, just because of how large his lead was right after the protests started to occur all over the country, his lead is still pretty good. It is still larger than Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama's leads ever, so that is also looking very good for Joe Biden. I do expect Joe Biden to flip the state of Florida back for the Democrats, however by a smaller margin than polling data indicates. I think at best it will be a lean state and at worst a tilt state for Joe Biden. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like as well as subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate that. As well as that, you can also check out my other videos, and I will see you in the next one.